Another thing I just received in the mail is this brand spanking new dust cover, the same as the one I had showed in previous photos. I looked inside basically to make sure there was no nicks, mars, but I'm keeping it in the original packing basically to keep it in brand new condition. The only thing I did was open up this one side, and I just wanted to customize it a little bit there, so I put on a really cool little Thorens deco in the theme of the turntable. So that's all be sealed, and it came in this packing box, which is all the way from England, so I'm assuming it's a good method of packing. It's got this nice packing paper, so that'll come in the box. And I have a whole bunch of interesting gizzits. I'm going to print out the manual, which will come with it, so you can figure out how to set the arm and everything, because you never know. Well, I'm going to have to disassemble the arm, like the head shell, so you don't ding up the cartridge, and also take the weight off. So, and then there's a little hanger on the right here, and it's very, 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 very fine line that attaches to a little weight. That's the anti-skating mechanism for this particular turntable. So that will come in a small little baggie along with the counterweight, because you don't want to have too much torque on the bearings while it's in shipping. We'll take the head shell off, and I'll put that, probably put the stylus inside the original case, which is a really nice. Here's another one that I have for my other turntable upstairs, but it's exactly the same case inside this box. And basically it comes with a stylus cleaning brush, a little screwdriver, and that sort of stuff. And also the instructions with the tracking force, recommended tracking force, and everything that you can play with. So that's all in this box here. That's the same cartridge I have on my upstairs turntable. Also included will be this little Allen key. And what the Allen key is for adjusting right here. If this goes out of, this is your Q lever. If it's too high or too low, it's dropping down not far enough or whatever. You can there's a little Allen key here. You can adjust it, so up or down depending on your preference. It should be in adjustment right now. And then the other thing is there's another Allen key that's the same size right there that allows you to adjust your vertical tracking angle. So what you want to do is have your arm basically parallel to the record when it's playing, and this allows you, I believe, to adjust it. I've left it. It sounds good the way it is, but again, you can play with those settings. Also, this Q up lever, it just slides out. So what I'll do is I'll just slide it out. This is two-sided taped basically on there, and that'll be all covered and everything, so it'll be protected. But basically that just slides in there, and then you have to adjust it so that when the arm comes right to the end of the record, that switch hits there, and it's really easy to adjust. It's not that hard. And there you go. So some of the other gizzits that will be coming with it, I included this. It's a little ruler for the old UXO program that I used to belong to, but really handy. It's made out of plastic. What I've done is I've marked it for adjusting the platter again if it goes out of adjustment, which I don't think it will. You can see the little arrow points to just 2 millimeters above zero. So basically what you do, you put it down flat on the plinth top plate, and you should see that the bottom right there of the platter should come to about 2, and it should be the same all the way around. And then that way you know that it's properly balanced. Now you should balance it with a record on it, and also with one of these record clamps or weights. It's also got a bubble on the top, so it allows you to adjust the feet. So if your turntable isn't perfectly flat, you can see the bubble moving around. It will show you how to adjust it. So obviously you want the bubble in the middle, and then you've got a perfectly flat platter. Doesn't necessarily mean all the time if your springs are out of adjustment that your plinth is flat, but it's more important that actually your platter, because that's is the flattest. Obviously you want both, and then that's why you have this ruler here to make sure it's the same all the way around, and then if that's flat, then you know that the plinth is flat. So that should all be adjusted, and I don't expect it would go out of kilter in transport, just so you know how to do it. Also, you saw that record clamp that I have. That one's actually mine. I've got a brand new one here in a box, which you'll note that some of them say 60 and some of them say 50. 50 is for Europe, 60, it's 60 hertz in Canada. So the power mains, and that's how the speed of the motor actually figures out the speed. That's how a belt drive works. It basically uses a synchronous motor that reads the frequency of the power mains at 60 hertz, and then that's how you get your 33 and a third RPM or 45 by the belt diameter and everything. So this is really just a strobe light on the top. So with a 61 in North America, you shine your light on it, it's like a strobe on any turntable. You need a 60 hertz light, so something plugged into the wall. It's flickering at 60 cycles a second, and then you can actually see. This is a really small one. I usually print out a much bigger strobe that I have kicking around, but it works. So it'll tell you whether your speed is true, and of course your ears will tell that in a minute. So back to the other gizzets that are with it. I think I just showed you the 45 adapter plus the insert. Just keep the insert in all the time, and then you'll be able to center your mat properly. And then I've got I got the old feet, and I'll probably toss in the old baseboard just in case you ever want to revert it back to stock. And in order to do that, you can actually peel back the vinyl on the second, that one there. I'm going to re-vinyl that one too. Vinyl that one too. It's a nicer table, or a nicer plinth. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to revert it back to normal, you could. And then also the foam inserts for the springs. Now a lot of audiophiles out there actually say take them out because they interfere with the sound, but some people say keep them in. I prefer to take them out, but they're there if somebody tells you differently and you want to go that route. So it is a matter of dismantling the springs inside and putting the foam inserts. I think they were used to sort of deaden the sound a little bit from translating from the platter to the plinth or whatever. But anyway. They're there. The other thing is Thorens original Thacker, I believe, where this one says, yeah, it's Thacker. That's the company that manufactures these to rigid standards, and one of the first things that if the sound starts to slow down or pitch or whatever changes and all that stuff, usually 99% of the time it's a bad belt. So I've got an old beater belt that I've been playing around with because handling it with oily fingers and all that stuff is not a good idea. So usually I just put on a surgical glove or whatever to put these on. Another thing to do is to put them into, a lot of people think that you should put talcum powder on it, and that way what it does is it prevents oils and moisture from building up on the belt, so that's an option. So anyway, this will be brand spanking new, untouched by human hands, in a bag, and I'll probably have that one on already, and you can play with that one until you're ready and then put the good one on. So yeah, the other thing is I'm printing out a manual, so they're available online, but I'll print a hard copy for you, and there you have it. so far so good. The only thing that I'm waiting for right now is the still waiting for the silver colored or chrome colored control levers here. The black ones, as you see, they kind of meld into the background, and I think the chrome ones will look much better. And then I've also got a little tally plate that's going to go in here that says Thorens. However, that I could probably ship separately. These ones I need for another turntable, so that's why I'm basically holding off on shipping right now, just until I get the replacements, so I can put those ones on. And then I've got another project on the go, just to build myself one, because this was originally intended for me. So there we have it. As soon as it's ready, we'll get it ready for shipping. Cheers. Bye.